You're killing me, Smalls.
We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS shipping packages. I'm smoking weed out them packages. If I ain't got a gun, I'm stabbing it. I got some leftover lean in the cabinet. I can hit your little hoe when she happy. Poke on that pussy shit like it's a top in it. We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS doing the packaging. I'm smoking good ass weed out them packages. I can't lie 'cause I ain't capping it.
And welcome back to the DNA podcast. It's your boy D.
It's your boy Antonio. Let's get to it.
This week we're going to discuss the morality in Namor's,
Decision to go to war.
I guess the options he gave Shuri, which one of them was to go to war.
Yeah.
This is a different spin on our take on the new Black Panther movie. We could have just done a review, but I don't know. I think it had good themes. I think it's reusing the same theme, but good themes.
I think the character is a little wash and repeat, but not in the same way that I think it's a different spin on a same kind of character.
Oh, no bullshit. And this was days after when I thought of it. Him and Killmonger had the same exact plan, but one is before they do something to you, and one is after they did something.
But also their plan is similar but different because one is like
Their motives are different.
But the plan is different because like the one is like I want to wage war to be an isolationist. The other one's I want to wage war just to take control of the planet. It's two different things.
Was Namor not trying to be isolationist?
Namor was trying to be isolationist. Killmonger was trying to take over the planet.
Oh shit. Killmonger wasn't trying to be in isolation either.
No.
I thought he wanted to wipe them. I thought he wanted to wipe them niggas out.
He wanted to kill everybody to like
Have them in fear.
To have them in fear, put them in their place. Namor just wanted to hey, let's team up, take these motherfuckers out, so they can leave us to fuck them up.
I didn't know Killmonger wanted to rule. I thought he wanted to get rid of all of them.
His ultimate plan was to basically destabilize the geopolitical structure of the planet so that Wakanda's they own the superpower. Well, I mean, Wakanda is the only superpower, but you know.
I thought that airplane scene. I thought he had nukes.
Well, he's about to go blow up everything.
Ooh, okay. I'm about to say I thought he just wanted to go nuke everybody and hey, that's it.
Well, I mean, but that would kill all the black people and have his plan was to free the black people.
Hey, that nigga Killmonger's like, I'm going to free us black people. y'all black people about it.
The whole plot was that.
I'm gonna free
y'all turned y'all back on the rest of black people and let them go into slavery and suffer, Jim Crow, all this other stuff. And it's time for us to get our reparations back by any means necessary. He was Nat Turner.
You can go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, you need to go back and rewatch
Because
it.
what I got from it was, y'all niggas screwed me and Pops. I did all this shit to gain experience to come screw y'all. I won. And you know what? I've been living out here amongst these mortals. Fuck them too. they about it. That's why I felt like it was such a 180 for him just to go evil. Like,
no, his whole plan was to free the black people. It was not about to kill everybody.
Okay, so it's not just a 180 to go evil. Then I'm okay with that. I was like, oh, he just flipped to be a megalomaniac.
He went like full Black Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Like he went like.
That makes a little bit more sense, bro. Mind you, I thought he wanted to nuke everybody. I was like, that's pretty strange to come out of nowhere. But why did that nigga need to go rule Wakanda for that to happen?
For the firepower, but that's not.
But so there are differences, but I still think, well, ultimately, still Wakanda's in the same spots in both decisions. And for y'all that don't know, Namor kidnapped Shuri and Riri. Riri is basically a black girl Iron Man. That's how
Ironheart. Yeah. If you know the comic run, you know the comic run. You don't.
And basically the plot is that Riri created a way to detect vibranium. Their city has a huge vibranium stone. And pretty much the world figured that out. They don't know about them, but they figured out the location of Namor. It's not in Wakanda. And in retort, Namor is Hey, y'all can go to war with me and we can wipe them all out so they're no problem for us. Or I can wipe them out and then it'd be us. Well, I'll wipe y'all out, take y'all shit, and then go wipe them out and it's just us. And yeah.
Well, initially the initial proposal was, you don't get in the way of me going to kill this girl, and we'll let shit go.
I'm gonna be real with you. In every facet, I thought Namor was being pretty reasonable.
I mean, honestly. So if I was looking at it as a world leader, right? If I'm the leader of Wakanda, and I know the rest of the world having vibranium is a national security threat to me and my people, because obviously they're a whole bunch of warmongering assholes. But if now we know there's another, vibranium superpower under the ocean, but two people having it is better than the whole world having it. So I would say, kill that bitch. That would be mine. Like, you know what? This benefits me for her to be dead too. I think I still would try to, like, hey, let's grab her, put her in detention. I think I would have did that. I don't think I would have went to killing her first. But if she gave me any pushback,
I think two things affect this. One, some people think, so why is that Wakanda's problem about that? Huh? He made a point, the Black Panther made it known what vibranium could do. So this is kind of y'all's fault that they're looking for it. I think it was during Civil War when he I forgot what the fuck he did exactly, but he exposed vibranium literally to the world. Huh? Yeah. That's a reason. One, that's true. Like, if y'all did not make it known, we wouldn't be in jeopardy. So this is y'all's fault. Y'all should have some bearing on this. And two, I think he would have been more open to keeping Riri prisoner if he didn't live underwater.
I'm saying, but they could have struck a deal and put Riri in Wakanda prison.
I mean, true, but and that's a whole lot of hoping that y'all don't do no crazy shit.
But the other options, either we kill her, you keep her in prison. If you let her out of that prison, or under detention, let's say they have to be prison, but you watch her. She can do whatever she wants to do in the country, but she has to stay in your country.
Yeah.
Or if that does not happen, that's your ass.
Those are pretty reasonable to me. I just feel like their hands was tied because what more can we really do? Now, on the surface, it's kind of stupid that Riri's the only person with the blueprints. Not stupid in a like she wasn't smart way. Stupid like, how do y'all build a device but don't?
No, she built it and they sold it off.
How don't the government automatically know? Oh yeah, we might want two of these. like you're going to get her to build one every single time. That ain't no U.S. government I know. Man, maybe I know the U.S. government a little different, but yeah, they ain't a little bit too reasonable in the movie to me. I heard about projects where scientists went missing and they shit got to it. But yeah. First issue, I guess we're in agreement that Namor it gave him a pretty easy out. No harm will come to y'all, no wars happen. We just need one person dead. Which, remember that one person dead thing, because that will always bring me to the end of the movie, when there's a big war. But Shuri meets the girl, likes the girl, and
but I understand why Siri would have the pause to kill her, because she is Siri, like she's the young female scientist,
and she's younger than Shuri, right?
Yeah, I think Shuri is
26, 27.
I don't know if she's that old. I think she might be like 23. She's pretty young, and then and she's like in college, or she might be like
Riri's 19. They said
19.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they're generally in the same age group. So like, how could it would be hard for someone to kill someone that they see themselves in, and the killer just because they're smart.
I'm not gonna hold you. The Queen of Wakanda was kind of a sucker anyway. For the fact that Shuri went on that mission, man, she wasn't gonna die. I mean, Riri, like even if Riri was a fucking 50-year-old man, Shuri wasn't gonna just let that nigga go over. Like, like that's just not what she do now. Bro, all these bald beauties look the same to me.
What's her name?
Bald badass beauty. I know what I'm talking about. The leader that's got stripped of her title.
Spoiler alert before we get any further.
Bro, it's been 3 weeks. If you want to watch that shit, bro, she would have done that shit. If the Queen would have just sent her, boom. It ain't too much to talk about it.
Well, she asked us to take Shuri with her, so she didn't have any intentions of killing her either.
I think she really brought Shuri just to get her out of the lab, get you to do something new.
She had no intentions of killing that girl. It had no intentions of killing that girl.
Oh no, her character is so back and forth. Like she's so strict to her missions at times. But it's like, she's willing to do whatever.
They never got a directive to kill her. They got a directive to capture her.
Yeah. Bro, what the fuck you expect? You see you saw these fish people. You knew what the fuck they were going to do.
Well, they had only seen Namor at that time in his flying feet. So they had no idea what the fuck he was going to do or what was going on.
Bro, that nigga looked like a nigga with no mercy. he looked like a nigga that if you cross, it's up. So maybe I was just being a comic book fanboy. Boy, he gonna kill her. The second he get her, he gonna fucking drown her ass.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but when they did capture her, they kept her alive.
Beat us, and this moves us forward. And Namor was being even more reasonable. He disclosed his plan to Shuri. He showed his people. He showed his city.
The backstory.
He showed all the vibranium that they really wanted and what it represented to his people. And he switched on the fly instead of me kill the girl. You help me wage war against the people, and it'll just be us two, and I'll leave you alone. Now, this context is important, and this is where I hop off the bandwagon with the Wakandans. This is right after the world has tried to raid your lab and forcibly take vibranium from you. And this is the same world that does look at you as criminals for doing nothing. This is after all that. Well, fuck you protecting niggas for. What is y'all, Jesus? And for me, it's not me not protecting y'all if I tell him just go do it. Like, he's giving me an option.
Well, the idea is that Wakanda would attack the inside of the country. Because, they're fish people. So they can only do but so much to the coast, right?
His powers I guess they weren't fleshed out.
He can fly, and he can do stuff. But, like, what I'm saying is they're fish people. So they're locked to the ocean in some capacity.
Can't he raise the water level? Can he flood stuff? Or is that just Aquaman?
I think that's just Aquaman. And that's, like, peak Aquaman. It's not even, like, regular Aquaman.
Fun fact, I've been reading comics, right? Aquaman could beat Superman at peak. Like, at peak, with the Trident's magical. Superman's other weakness is magic. And I never thought of this since Aquaman lives at the bottom of the ocean. With all that pressure when he's out, nigga's strong as fuck. Like, it's basically like what Goku does in 100 times grab. It's exactly that. Spin-off, but fun fact, Aquaman could beat Superman in some incarnations. Okay, but I thought Namor could flood shit too. Not gonna hold you.
I'm pretty sure they have the technology to do it. But you could, even if you could flood, like you can raise the water in Boston, right? You know what I'm saying? And fucking flood Boston, then you can attack Boston, right? But how high can you actually get the water?
Yeah, that is true.
You're not gonna get it high enough to go all the way into, Ohio.
I'll have all y'all damn colonizers in New Hampshire feeding for your life. In New York, Florida, Los Angeles, Washington, that's mine. New Orleans, that's mine.
That shit basically already underwater. Change anything there. All that would take is to blow up one dam. You're fucking there.
Okay, so that takes it back. I was hyping up their powers a little bit to an ungodly level. Oh, so they needed them.
Yeah, like because the idea was a too strong attack. Like Wakanda come in from aerial support, bomb because they have fucking stealth bombers that you can't detect. So they can just fucking blow up all the air bases and everything else, and then they come from the ocean, fuck up the coastline. What are you gonna do?
If this was in a movie where right and wrong was pictured, I don't know. I think that's
It's a solid plan.
I think that's your best course of action. And so the reason why I'm with Namor's side, I think basically they revealed there's gonna be a Black Panther 3. I doubt that all this gets resolved in the Ironheart series.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt any of this gets resolved because there's gonna be her in college, Riri, in college. But how many times does the world need to come for you before you fight back? And I'm not saying, the Wakandans take over everything. Let's overthrow Sweden and let them niggas know we ain't playing.
Why'd you choose a neutral country?
Bro, for the life of me, I cannot remember that one area where the bitch was talking reckless to the queen when they were in the summit meeting.
That was France.
That was France?
It was France.
Let's overthrow France and let them niggas know we ain't playing. And that way, if y'all keep acting foolish, we'll take y'all out one by one. So, y'all know y'all don't want that. We don't want to do that. Like, let's leave all of them alone. Let's.
Well, I think the idea when they marched in the mercenaries they marched in from France, and the idea was like, hey, keep this fucking up. That was the step before, or maybe a couple steps before. But like, if you keep fucking with us, we'll fuck you up.
It's even for the preposterous reason that's like, so for a few reasons, it's foolish to try to fuck with them. One, they got weaponry we don't have. I don't know why you just sent the soldiers in to die. when you literally know that they got weaponry you cannot copy, cannot defend, cannot do X, Y, and Z, why do you A, keep fucking with them, and B, y'all got freak shows of y'all's own. Keep working on that superhuman formula. Go make some hopes. Go make some of that freak show formula.
Well, they're still trying to do that, and it what's really weird about fucking about all the superhero storylines. I guess either that like you're a super soldier or you have a fancy suit. For the most part, I mean, I guess there might be a few exceptions like Thor. He's a god or whatever, and then
actual god,
and then X-Men, Fantastic Four. But in a way, they're super soldiers too. Like what I'm saying, like they're humans that are just different.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the few. I guess what I'm saying is like all the countries are actively trying to make super soldiers. So like the vibranium is the only thing kind of separating Wakanda and what is Namor's nation called?
T'Challa, something like that. God damn it. It's
I know they call him Cuckoo Khan, but
how the hell do you remember that? But not
because I already knew the name from because I'm a nerd. Talokan. Yeah, so that's the only thing keeping because basically everybody in Talokan is a super soldier, and then the Black Panther is a super soldier, and the only thing that separates the Black Panther from Iron Man really is not Iron Man. Say
And Captain America.
from Captain America is the suit. That's it.
Yeah, basically. The MCU dances around this issue, and this is the reason why comics were made to go directly at this issue. Bro, they're trying to poke fun at world domination without putting the onus on the world. Because it's basically why do you need that shit? Why do you need more super soldiers? Why do you need this? Why do you need vibranium? What if they get it? They'll be like you, which we face right now in this modern world. And that's why comics explored that. That's why most heroes are villains to the government. Like,
Yeah, even Captain America became a enemy of the U.S. government.
the thing is, America this day.
He's America's poster boy. He eventually was like, "Nah, this shit's kind of dumb."
Bro, you kind of too strong. So you should either A, give up, or B, force. Well, you should A, surrender and be jailed, or B, do whatever we say. Y'all can't do shit to me. How are you making rules that you can't enforce? And so this dances around it a lot because all of this is stupid. It's stupid why it's even a debate on why they need vibranium. I guess I'm even more hard on the Queen because, well, these white people like I do, these niggas don't stop all because they get their ass spanked. Boy, you need to go ahead and lash at their whole face. You need to go ahead and do the deed because they're just going to keep trying. Mm-hmm. Even still,
but I think that's why she was ultimately kind of tempted.
She would have done that, but ain't no.
Well, because if she wasn't tempted at all, she would have not went to go get her.
True.
So the idea was like, hey, maybe we should, maybe he's making an okay point. Let's see it out. But then
they went to go get her for the fact that she posed a threat to them also.
I mean, yes. But what I'm saying is like she was tempted by the whole prospect of, oh damn, they have a way to find vibranium that's not in here.
That, and if we figure out how you do it, we can figure out how to counter it. And this also goes super unnoticed when we are dealing with comics. And so, niggas is flying, they fighting damn Thunder God, they doing this and that. So you shouldn't take anything with this real seriously. There's no way in fuck we remade that shit. Like, you want to know why? There's two reasons why she couldn't have made it. One, she couldn't have based it on anything besides a basic radar. And two, how the fuck did she find vibranium? Where did she go to see if the thing worked?
Oh, man, good point. That's a big plot hole. There's no way to tell if it fucking worked. I guess if she was getting a signal from Wakanda, like that makes sense.
And so, like, the government itself makes sense because I bet the government do have a few vibranium pieces, we should say.
No, apparently Wakanda has everything or knows where it's at.
And so that was jarring to me from the get-go. Once again, we're dealing with mutants and freaks. We're dealing with a nigga that goes green when he gets upset. It's no way fuck she could have made this. Plus, to me personally,
I mean, but it's if you read Reed's like storyline, she is as smart or smarter than Tony Stark. So, and Tony Stark figured out time travel. I think she could have figured it out.
I don't doubt the skill to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she literally has the stuff to figure it out. I'm about to say, to me personally, it would take vibranium to find vibranium.
I don't know. Because you can make a metal detector and it detects gold, but it doesn't have gold in it.
True, that is true. So I'm not doubting that she couldn't because I do believe, from what I read, I think Riri is the smartest Avenger.
Mm-hmm. Especially of the new generation.
Yeah. So it's like I'm not saying that she can't from a mental standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how the fuck did they even know that shit? But them niggas could have been looking at diamonds.
Yeah, I mean, the only way it would have made sense is like if they got took it kind of close to Wakanda, like, yeah, check it out, yeah.
Like, that's the huge piece of it. So I can see from their vantage point, I don't think she had any intention of joining Namor. But this is a huge bro, you did the impossible. Like, tell us how you did it. Because this causes a huge problem now. Because now, if she figured it out, I always like to assume that if somebody's that smart at one location, shit, there's got to be somebody else. So like, or is this where did you randomly find it out? I feel like if they would have went to her, like if they would have brought her back and she told them a bunch of bullshit that just so happened worked, there's something to worry about. Ain't nobody gonna do that twice.
But I think it's the story. Like they said, I couldn't do it, so I did it. I think that's fucking dope.
Which makes
that's a very much a me. I can relate to that sentiment. Like fuck y'all.
It waters it down for damn, somebody did it just out of spite. Yeah.
To me, she's even more of a badass. I did the impossible.
All this sounds like, oh, so you don't like Riri? You're nitpick. No, I love her and I love the fact she did it, but it takes away the fact that it shouldn't have been possible. And she did it on a whim. She did it on a
basically a bet.
If that person didn't tell her not to do it, she wouldn't have done it.
But isn't that how life actually works? Isn't life a whole bunch of coincidences that get you in trouble?
That is. I like to assume when you're dealing with revolution and shit, that right there is so revolutionary to modern man. You be set for the rest of your life. You know, you devote a lot of time, a lot of effort. Not saying she didn't, because I think she took less than a year.
I think she did it in 6 months.
You would think some people sacrifice years.
Well, I think people have been doing it for years and still haven't done it yet. That's the part of make her seem like, holy shit, she's fucking a genius.
And so, like, yeah, like I'm not mad that they paint her out to be a badass, but man, they could have. Oh no, they could have made it more of an obstacle. So they made it to her. They put it as just another thing in her way. That was just a class. She had to get the
metallurgy class.
Yeah, bro. You know I fucked up some. You know I fucked up springtime and took up class over the summer.
What the fuck?
That's the only thing that gets me. So I never once thought the queen was on his side, which mind you, I felt like she should have been. I just think that it was just so preposterous that we got to see this shit. Like it's just saving your ass. Like if we figure out how she did it, we can figure out how to counteract all in the same.
Yeah,
now,
and I think no matter what, it was still out of their own personal interest. Like that, she had no desire to save her until she met her.
Yeah,
and then she reminded her of Siri. So it was like, damn. At least that's what I took from it. It just didn't seem like she wanted to kill her when she met her.
It ain't no telling of her, bro. She ruthless. I can't. Is she ruthless in the right way?
She saved her from drowning. She didn't want to kill her.
True.
Because she could have just saved herself and let her drown.
Hey, bro, let her drown. Ain't we good? She drowned. But that brings me to crisis number 2 that I just can't ignore. Riri was obviously the thing that propelled everything forward.
Mm-hmm. She's the MacGuffin. Yeah.
Because she wanted to go back to that freaking school so badly.
But she wanted to get back to her life.
2 things. 1, she wanted to graduate from this school so freaking bad. Bro, you're regarded as smarter than the professors. Hell, why they don't just give you the degree right now is beyond me.
It's I think it's something that we wouldn't
Don't say I won't take that bitch around because I would.
no, it's something that we wouldn't appreciate because we fucking hate school, but like
I liked college. I loved college.
No, you like the experience.
Well, I like college after 2 years. That's when basic studies is out the way. And so, like, once again, I tell people all the time, if you don't have no discernible skill, that's when you go to college. She got discernible skills and wits, but so that's putting a major hole on everything because she needs to get back to school so badly. You know, go back to her life. Bro, take your people and go to Wakanda. Stop fucking around. Like, you now got the opportunity to earn from the world's smartest individuals because if we're playing fast and loose with her learning at college, it's real fast and loose with those words. So, like, I think from a competitive side where she's at, it wouldn't make sense for her to want to have stayed in Wakanda, at least for a little, way longer than what she did, to learn from the rest of them. And then B, just, yeah, like we said, it's a MacGuffin. And, bro, you wanted to get back. Do you not know that if you stay here, you live? If you go there, it ain't no telling what happens to you. Do you not understand the stakes that you're putting on us? And, like, I don't know, I just can't. The queen is so on ass about everything. Well, she didn't know it. Well, yeah, she did. She was accompanied with Riri before everything else happened. And bro, I don't know. These are minor things to me that, hey, you live here now. Am I captive? If that's how you choose to look at it. If you choose to feel like you're a prisoner, you're a prisoner. You can just look at it as a new life to me. And that just, when you know that that's what's keeping the movie together, oh no, they're pretty weak. The reasons to me is weak. Stacked against Namor, and I thought they were weak stacked against Killmonger until he did the whole 180 super bad guy thing.
But you could tell that was his plan the whole time. You can go back and watch it, like, oh, you were jaded against the world from the jump, but you needed the power to do such things that you wanted to do. Because other than that, he's a regular man, and he doesn't even have super weapons.
I believe he would want to do it, but he strikes me as a man of honor. If this is what we agreed on, and you can promise me,
he's a man of an eye for an eye.
That's honor, goddammit.
Not necessarily, but okay. And what I'm saying is that no matter what the slight is, even if the slight was unintentional, he wouldn't have took that well.
And that's where they would have to fend on themselves. Bro, we held Riri, we good. We good. So you can tell me nobody else will come fishing for us? Yeah, y'all got it from there if they did. I'm good with that.
We secured the security leak, I guess.
Hey, bro, I said y'all think they're in a boat. Do it again.
But the circle, I'm going to go on a tangent real fast, but you know how it came out of the water and they were singing? I think that like cool, like a nod to like a siren song and like the myth of people like jumping off boats and shit to their death. Like I think that's like that was a nice little nod they did there.
If you're nerd enough to have noticed that, well, you know that was amazing. If you're not, it's still an amazing clip. It's still an amazing power to have.
Yeah.
And super OP as is, boy, people ain't figuring that out that quickly. I like to think of myself as a genius. Boy, I'm in that water. Damn, I didn't think of covering my ears. Oh, this is it. This is God calling me on home. Even though I feel like once you hit the water, you should be up.
You know, water transmits sound like 4 times better.
Mm-hmm.
So you're hearing the song no matter what.
What a way to go. You drowned and you don't even know why you're drowning. Bro, y'all can take a boat. Y'all good. Anything that comes y'all way, y'all got it. And I don't know, I feel like said it again. I said it once, say it again. I don't know what they expected Namor to do. They actually tied his hands on every single front.
I think it was a little out of pocket when they went to go get Riri, right? And then they were on the mission to get her back. They gave them a time frame to get her back.
They didn't hold true to that time frame.
I mean,
that's why they were so caught off guard. because I think they had like 2 extra days to get her to Wakanda. So I think their plan was to interrogate her in Wakanda and then figure out what to do with Namor. But, well, Namor saw through that. Well, we know what the fuck, we know what the fuck is up. We know what the fuck y'all got going on, but
what I'm saying is that they put Wakanda in a bad spot. Because not only did you take Riri, if they had just took her, it would have been a wash. But they took her and the princess, and then you threatened us and said, if you come down here and try to get them back, we're going to be on your ass.
I think that's where the power went to Namor, because two things affected that. They did not take Shuri willingly. They did, but she asked to be taken. Yeah. They were going to leave her.
But I'm saying just from Wakanda's standpoint. Like, yeah. Well, now we have to. Like, there was no going back once you took her. There was always going to be an open war.
For me, Namor, he's high on power, so he didn't phrase it right. But he easily could have just let it be known that I'm talking to your princess. No harm will come to her.
Yeah.
That's all he had to say.
That's all he had to do.
And I mean, his actions are because no harm came to her. Not like she wasn't even hit under there. She, for all intents and purposes, it was vacation.
I mean,
for her.
They did flip that fucking car, a bike. What was she on? She was on the bike.
She was on the bike.
Yeah, they did.
They flipped both, but she was on the bike.
Yeah, they flipped that fucking bike.
But this is before we got cord. That's before we knew niggas. That's back when we was just new folks.
Before they were niggas. And I didn't even know you then. My fault. My fault, blood bath.
I felt the queen was out of line for sending I know Nakia. I know her sound like that old phone company. I'll never forget that.
Oh.
But I thought the queen was out of line for sending her only because, one, if they were wanted Shuri dead, she would have been dead such a long time
they could
ago.
Have drowned her.
Easily. I'm pretty sure it's because she didn't even have Black Panther in her yet. Like this, bro, he could have punched her all the way across that cave and killed her. So,
yeah.
For you to think she's being held captive, I don't know how much time she has. So I'm going to send somebody, even though he said not to send. Oh, no, I feel like.
Well, he didn't say don't send nobody until after they met. So.
I felt like that was such a huge overreaction, which I will give this. The movie had every reason to play as an overreaction because she just lost her son a year prior.
She's lost her husband.
Probably 2 or 3 years.
It's been at least 10.
It was 10?
Because the blip.
I keep forgetting about the blip. I was about to say that was right before Civil War. But, yep, right before the blip.
So it's probably longer than 10. Probably 15. Something like that.
And so now her last living fucking descendant, basically, is being captured, is being imprisoned. So I 100% get why she overreacted. But the key word there is she still overreacted. I think
it's not a bad choice to send in an operative to get the asset that you want, right? I'm saying like that's pretty standard procedure for geopolitics.
So I look at it like this, and the timeline almost did this. What happened if Shuri was underwater when all this happened and then War got word? You literally endangered her. Yeah. With no bullshit. And even regardless, even though she got rescued, you're putting her in more harm.
Oh yeah. It's definitely the riskier it's the riskier choice. But I get why you would, if you're in a desperate state, you would take that choice.
And so Nakia coming, she killed some fish people, got the people, and in Namor's mind,
killed one. She killed one.
Hey, there's one more than what we killed. In Namor's mind, because he did just tell her not to send somebody, even though she sent somebody before. Queen should have been upfront. Queen should have let him know then. Yeah, I sent somebody. Why did you do that? You didn't tell me not to. That's on me. You should get back real fast. So,
but I think that would end it badly no matter what. It would. I think them going the course of what they had already planned is the only way that you make it out of that would basically unscathed.
I think it ends badly because you know you screwed him. Like you know that at every waking point, he was. To me, being reasonable is he could have killed you and your daughter right then and there when he told you about Riri. He had every like. It would have been harder for him too, but he obviously could have found Riri on his own. You know, y'all just made it easy. So, like, y'all saying alive to him means nothing. He kept Shuri alive. He opened up why he was doing things. Now, the Queen doesn't know this, but, like, I'm not trying to be a bad guy. I'm just letting y'all know at what's at stake here. And he has a whole civilization of his own. Like, this isn't just a guy protecting his family or I have kids. I am protecting millions of people myself underwater. So it's like at every waking point he's tried to, you know, he could have talked more, but you could have talked more to him. You could have explained, hey, you're kind of jumping too fast. We could do this, this, and this, and it'd be right. But you screwed him. Like you're constantly screwing him, and basically you're forcing his hand. You're basically acting like, hey, we want to see you do some. When Shuri left, when Nakia, Riri, and Shuri left, one, I didn't like it when Nakia said that she was going to live. She grazed her, but she ended up dying.
She said, it's lethal from this range. I can't save her. That's the quote.
Oh, I thought she said it wasn't lethal.
No, it's lethal from this range. We can't save her.
Okay, I was about to say, because it happened so fast. Dead ass, I thought she said it wasn't, but then she ends up dying. Why did she lie there? And two, what did you expect the Mad Fishman to do when he realized that he lost his prisoners and he killed one of his own? What cause is left for him? Is he? I'm being real. Is he supposed to come talk to you now? Just be real. Is he supposed?
I feel like because if he was any other like world leader, like America wouldn't go to war over one person unless they were like a politician, right? But because he's like their God King, and he knows them each like personally, just like if someone killed a Wakandan, it would be a problem. I think that's the reason. It's a smaller population. There's a closeness that you wouldn't have in a regular country.
You want to know the truth? I will counteract your point. The reason why America doesn't do that is because casualties will be high. If America could guarantee that there wasn't real casualties, which Namor could pretty much assume there wasn't if we attacked you, America would be running up a nigga shit like they did. If it didn't take a gun battle or, you know, nukes or whatever, or tanks that would actually kill a good portion of our people, yes, America would. If we had a bunch of Hulks, yes, they would. Every time. Not doing it because they're good people. No, I don't think America's politicians are good people. They're doing it because it would take out our people. Namor went to destroy them all because I know y'all can't hurt us. I know not only can y'all not kill us, y'all can't hurt us. That's when you have the power.
They killed the other fish lady, so they can't hurt you.
You can hurt us, but once we go on the offensive, what are you doing? And when they went on the offensive, I don't think any of them got knocked off when they invaded Wakanda the first time. I think they literally took all the bodies and deaths, and had none on their side.
I'm sure they took a few.
They're
Wakandans. I'm sure they took a few.
We are hoping because they're the good guys. Good guys.
But for cinematic reasons, they made it look like they took a hard L. I'm sure we got a few blows in. I'm sure the color folk. I guess they're both color folk, huh?
I was about to say, you keep saying you keep on pronouncing we. I ain't with those black folks. I'm with the seamen. Boy, I keep the Hispanic folk is color folk too, bro. I'm with the weirdly Hispanic underwater people.
Also, I think the reworking of I haven't watched a lot. I haven't read a lot of Namor comics. Like I'm vaguely familiar with his character. I know he's like the knockoff Aquaman.
Yeah.
So like I didn't, and I always knew he kind of looked like he wasn't white. He always looked like he was, something else. But I like how they spun it and made him to like they're like Mayans that went into the ocean, and then like they took the base they took
And base it off real culture.
yeah, they took that and flipped it and made it into a cool story. I think that was cool.
I thought that nigga was green.
No, Neymar has always been because he was he's always been
Humanoid.
like yeah.
I don't know why. I always thought he was like.
But
just colored
initially, his storyline was that he was one of the first mutants, which they actually kind of did say that he was a mutant.
Man, they did say that shit. No, I agree with you. One thing I give MCU, I give them a lot of flack because they deserve it. They know how to rework characters
To make them
fit them modernly.
yeah.
Like, I did like Namor's backstory. It gave him more of a reason to be more decisive in his actions. Because he witnessed his own people, regardless if he claimed them, he did claim them because he had seen them captive. He's seen what happens when basically you got something somebody want, and the people that want it can take it. He's seen that thousands of years ago, and it wasn't explicitly stated, but I'm pretty certain that he was keeping up with some world events. About the world, I mean the actual world, to know that this is a circle, like people being imprisoned, people being conquered, people being all this, and it's a circle. I've seen it for thousands of years, so it's going to happen to us.
He's not that old. Maybe like 1,500.
I did say thousands, 1,000 years, and so it's like, yeah, it did add weight to it. Now it was kind of low weight. It was like 10 pounds to his arc, but it makes sense why he
why he would take such a strong isolationist stance. Like he took an even stronger one than the Wakandans did, because even before they knew that they had vibranium in Wakanda, they were still isolationist and they put up like a fake front. They would make fake cities for people to go visit, all that other fun stuff. So
to be fair, I would say they're on the same scale as isolationism, but Wakanda is, I would say, smarter. But they were able, I would say smarter, and so they were able to hide their isolationism. And it made it, in a cute way. We gave other cities, we got a barrier up, so you really can't even come here. So you really don't force our hands to do this. But if they didn't have that barrier, it'd be up. If they didn't have the barrier, I feel like the Wakandans would be as ruthless as
probably
like they have that luxury of, well, you can't come here if you tried. And the Telecom could assume that, but somebody came. They got the biggest and dipped relatively fast. We don't know how long each took. We don't even know how long it takes for him to get to Wakanda. Hey, but we know it's longer than a goddamn Metal Gear Solid mission. We know that. So, this is that part of the movie when Shuri killed the fish lady, got everybody. This is when I was solely on Namor's side. I was petering back and forth because I hate the colonizers, but bro, you want me to kill y'all, bro? That's what you want. I was being pretty.
pretty reasonable.
Reasonable. I had a grandiose word, but can't think of it.
Okay.
And to circle back to mine, we just wanted one scientist dead. But y'all protected the scientist and killed my people. It's just one, but that's all I asked to be dead. One person would have stopped all this. But you decided that my one was less important than your one. So let's go do this thing. And he did it.
I mean, I get his motivations after the fish lady dies. I don't know if I would have went to open war if I was a world leader. I'm not sure I would have went to open war, but there definitely would have been some threats exchanged.
My only question is, did he know that there wasn't a Black Panther?
Oh yeah, they know.
So he knew that for facts.
They know.
Boys. The only thing he didn't do that I wish he would have done, he should have had a cool speech to them, to the Wakandans, not to his people.
But they can't do that because that would make him a villain. It's a villain trope. You don't as a hero. You give inspiring speeches. You don't give out an evil monologue.
He could do Superman injustice.
But they're trying to make him into an anti-hero. Like he helps when it benefits him, but he's not going to actively go out and be a villain.
Her monologuing is just a good storyteller.
I mean, sure, but they're not trying to make him into the villain.
You ain't no villain if you monologue. Heroes who don't have the chance to monologue because they're losing. Heroes are the ones. The heroes are normally the ones caught in the trap. They don't got time to monologue. And to be fair, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't expect for Angela Bassett to go ahead and take that plunge, but it made sense. Yeah, bro, you hit me, bro. We swung for big fish. You hit little fish, bro. We swung for the fences and we knocked it out the park. Now, I don't know. It's kind of weird how you found her so quickly. I guess they do live in a fucking
tower. She's probably in that fish. And they probably had spies in there. Like I'm saying, because they can get through the gate anytime they want. So they probably will send people up the river, looking in, like, okay, that's probably where she's at. Taking their fish pictures and shit.
Hey, we here. This is before the storm. You feel me? Before the storm, head asses. And so he does a whole assault, and they never gave us a number how many people were dead.
Oh yeah, they didn't give you a body count.
But this is a lot more than the one. This is a lot more than the one that they were willing to do and let bygones be bygones. This is a lot more than Riri just giving up her life in the Americas and uprooting her family and going to Wakanda. These lives are lost.
But just to circle back to her giving up her life, though, this all could have been avoided if Namor did not interfere when they were retrieving her.
This all could have been avoided if the colonizers ain't trying to steal his vibranium. But we can circle all the way back.
I mean, sure, but I'm saying he had direct impulse on why it ended up being that way.
That's a weird villain trope that they made him do. That doesn't make sense.
Because without that, the plot wouldn't have accelerated so fast. But I understand why they did it, because they were trying to speed up the plot.
They were trying to speed it up, and I think you get to that result. I think you get to him having to knock down Wakanda. Either way. Because it's like they get back to Wakanda. They like her. They figure out, when the queen sees her, oh shit. It's like, I got 2 daughters. This and that. They're not willing to give her up. Then Namor feels slighted. But now he feels like you don't see his backstory. Mm-hmm. So now he just feels like a villain.
Like that part about because he's supposed to be like the righteous villain, right? Yeah. That's his role in this. Like
fish Jesus.
I mean, kinda. But it's like he's supposed to be like the righteous villain, and for him to take that step so aggressively it felt this doesn't really fit your storyline, especially when right after that they tell you his backstory and everything about him. It's like, oh well, that's not really fair, huh?
Yeah, true.
That was just my take on it.
Yeah, he knocks off the people. But I really was surprised when Angela Bassett died. Obviously, she's Queen of Wakanda. But Angela Bassett is a good Wakanda name. Don't know why. It just flows. It has royalty to it. And now our plot is jump started a little bit more because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Shuri wouldn't have been so motivated if it wasn't her mom's. Because, when it's your people, it makes a difference. It doesn't matter if somebody died, but damn, it's my fault.
Well, I think the fact that like everybody has died, and everybody has died in like in a traumatic way. No one died of like old age.
Yeah. And this is all in her lifespan. So she's 23. Damn, she's seen all her people get gone since she was like 10 in dramatic ways. But once again, I can see why she's upset. But seeing her plot line take such a nosedive, I guess it goes up for people. I'm calling it nosedive just to show how it veered off course. Bro, you got all this anger towards him. He was pretty reasonable up until the point that you made him have to come destroy your people.
But you don't think about reason when someone kills your mother.
Boy, my reason. Hey, I promise you this. When they got that far, I would have killed Riri. And we ain't got to worry about moms. It would have been. And also,
but also that wasn't her choice to make then.
Oh no, yeah, y'all fucked that up. Y'all.
That was the queen's choice to make.
Oh yeah, damn, Angela Bassett. I feel like he would have listened to us, sure, if she was like, "Hey, take me home. You can have her." And so I'm gonna be real with you in the morality of this, right? Riri. Some people could listen to this and be like, "Bro, you a straight ass. You would give up like you would just give her up like that. She ain't do nothing." Actions have consequences. I've been watching The Big Bang Theory, so this comes to me quickly. They came up with a, can't think of the name, that shit's nerdy, but pretty much a satellite that can give you exact, coordinates of something super nerdy. But it was like, oh, it'd be cool to do, be glad we did it. They got funded by the government, this and that. They were pretty shocked that the government was going to use it as a weapon. What the fuck did you think that a government that could use a satellite and figure out exactly what they wanted was at any given point was going to do? Like, I don't know, maybe because I'm a pretty negative person, you gotta understand how your actions do stuff. If Riri just did not make this vibranium detector, none of this happens. And she's a kid. She's 19. So, but, to older people, she's not too far from my age. It was real smart what you did. It's a real fucked up hand that's been played. But somebody got to take this fall, B. If you don't go, that puts hundreds of people who literally did nothing at fault. Actions that the person who made the gun is responsible for all the mass deaths in war, regardless if it was their intention to. Actions have consequences, and Riri's consequence would have been whatever that came to her. Obviously, nothing comes to her. Just hundreds of other people are dead, and some fish people are pissed off. But she got off scot-free, and this is not me. I love her. Riri's my favorite female character in MCU. Didn't know she was going to be in this movie, actually. But that's just your actions have consequences, regardless of if you meant for it to or not. And I'm not talking about in a comic book sense, in a real world sense. How many times have you done something and then expect for it to go that way? Oh, I didn't mean for that to happen. It doesn't matter. We're here now. Mm-hmm. That's end of the day morality.
Yeah, I feel like this story is like how rash decisions can back you into a corner, right? It's like when you make rash decisions, it puts you in a place where you can't make wise decisions.
Because there were better
And on both sides, you know what I'm saying? Because Namor could have waited for her to get back to Wakanda.
he could have gave the option of she can stay in Wakanda.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
They could have had a whole treaty deal. You know what I'm saying? There was options. And then the Queen did have to go and snatch up Siri and Riri. And then Siri did have to go back into war with the fish people.
It was pretty much a bunch of misunderstandings.
It's a bunch of like really off the cuff decisions, thinking with your heart and not with your head.
Mm-hmm.
That got you here.
In which I also don't know if you really noticed. I've made mention to it. A lot of this is driven off the fact of T'Challa's passing.
Mm-hmm.
On why most of these decisions,
are bad. Yeah. So on the Wakandan side, the decisions are bad because T'Challa died.
Yeah, they're still pretty raw to that fact, and so I don't know. I feel like that was a nice
It's realistic
touch.
as hell.
Yeah, that was a nice touch without abusing Chadwick Boseman's real life death. Like I feel like that's one of those little small things that you get from watching it more than once. Even though I watched it once, but I'm good at this thing. That you don't need that tidbit to enjoy the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look back at it, it all like basically if T'Challa was there, this would not have went down that rabbit hole.
But then you would have somebody on Kukulkan's Namar's level from the jump. So like the threats wouldn't have been so scary because you have your own super soldier. And
they would have just been like they probably would have talked it out.
Yeah.
And got to this, peaceful decision. So it's like I think that's an added layer of bliss that most of these MCU movies don't have. But it was done for most of them are still in mourning. And so this is why things unfolded like it did. Due to some technical difficulties, this will be the end of part 1. We already got part 2 recorded. And yeah, it's going to be a bunch of weird shit.
Enjoy.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.